So the plan is, I think it takes a realistic look at how to address our deferred maintenance problem, and the money is going to be focused on student spaces. And so one of the top projects, for example, at UH Manoa is Sinclair Library. It's gonna, a top priority right now is to make that a learning center, and I think that's where we're focusing a lot of our attention on our next big project here on campus. So that'll give you an example of where we're focusing. We want it to be student spaces. We want to improve the student experience. There's no such thing as departmental space anymore. It's university space. So a good example of that is a life sciences building that's going up where Henke Hall used to be, right by Sinclair Library. And so there's going to be multiple programs that are going to be utilizing that space. So all that brand new classroom space, that brand new classroom experience, we're going to try to get as many classes through that space as possible, no matter what your discipline is. Like a good example of that is Sakamaki Hall. Those brand new classroom spaces, they're not just for one department. And those classrooms are being used just about every day, every hour of the day, because they're the most modern, up-to-date spaces, and it improves the student experience, and that's what we want to do. Next up, I think after that would be Holmes Hall, College of Engineering, and then obviously Kaikendale Hall is another one that needs help, and it's in desperate need of a renovation. And so that's another project that's definitely on the list. So one way of dealing with deferred maintenance is to tear some of these buildings down, is to contract the space that we're in. And so an example of that is Snyder Hall. After the life sciences building is built, Snyder Hall, I think, is something like $30–40 million of deferred maintenance right there. It'll be torn down, and so that deferred maintenance will be off the books. And so, so there's multiple ways of dealing with the issue, and that's the way we're tackling with a lot of these things.
We thought we would come up with a 6-year CIP plan. It was mandated by the board. So the way the budget works for CIP, it's a separate budget than the operating budget, right? So we get paid our salaries and what have you. It's all paid on the operating budget side. Then there's the capital side, which is the buildings, and that is funding that comes from the legislature in the form of what we call general obligation bonds, GO bonds. And so the state of Hawaii is paying that debt service. Not us, not the University of Hawaii, not from tuition, not from any place else. The state is with taxpayer dollars. The 6-year CIP plan really is representing a focus on our students, a focus on the learning experience, a focus on the research experience, and doing it in a way where 20 years from now, the investment that we made, it has scalability. And we can go up or we can go down, and it can be for astronomy or it could be for English. And that's because we've built these spaces that are a lot more agnostic to who is in there versus the type of activities that's happening in there.